Hello and welcome to another video on whathifi.com. Today we have a very exciting new product. It is of course the PS4. So first we'll start with this mystery box and strange plastic thing. So we have a nice little instruction manual, some of the smart TV stuff, accessories, a bit about the controllers. Yeah, so this is the good bit, the actual games. So these are the games that we've been given obviously to test it out. It's Call of Duty Ghosts, Assassin's Creed, the new version which is for Black Flag, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Knack and Killzone Shadowfall. Nice little handy packet there. So also in here we have a nice little card which is going to give us 30 days of free music unlimited. That's about it. PlayStation logo. Next we have the new PlayStation camera, which is kind of Sony's equivalent to the Microsoft Kinect system, though not as advanced. It's also not free with the PS4, so you may get it with some bundles, but otherwise you'll be paying around £50 for this. With the camera you get some facial recognition features, also some basic voice commands, and a few other nice video camera related features. It's the instruction manual. So it's smaller than I thought it would be, and it is also noticeably smaller than the Kinect. You can see the two lenses. There are also 4 microphones inside. Sony says one of the big advances is that thanks to these 2 lenses, it does now have a wider field of vision, which is good if you're in a smaller room. And then it's just a wired cable with a Sony proprietary connection. So here it is, the Sony PlayStation 4. It's a little bit slimmer than I thought it might be, but still feels fairly weighty. Only available in black, only with 500 gig hard drive, though that is expandable. And you can get the controllers in different colours. And if you look on the back, you see some of the games. Knack, which we talked about, one of the exclusives. Infamous Second Son, which isn't due for a while, I think next year. Likewise Watch Dogs. PlayStation Plus there, which is essentially the Xbox Live equivalent. You do get 14 days free trial with your new PS4 before you have to start paying. And then of course some of the features. And if you simply cannot wait to open the box, you can find out what's inside just on the side here. You'll notice that there isn't a stand included to have it vertical, which is a little bit cheeky seeing as it's on the front positioned vertically, but you do need to buy the vertical stand if you want to do that. If we can just get the sellotape off. There we go. Okay, innovative box design. Boom. So, first things first, get a hold of that quick start guide. Then there is the controller. Obviously you can see some of the redesigns. There's this touchpad here. They've renamed these buttons, now share and options. Slightly redesigned D-pad, and also these joysticks had a slight tweak and should be more sensitive. Also new on the new controller is a standard headphone jack. So as well as having the wireless Bluetooth connectivity to headphones, you can just plug in any old headphones, hopefully. And in case you were wondering how it compared to the old PlayStation 3 controller, you are in luck. We've only gone and got one. And actually, in reality, it's a little bit bigger. And it definitely feels better. It feels more substantial, it feels less plasticky. And some of the kind of ergonomic design tweaks do make sense at a very first hands-on feel. You can see some of the buttons, the designs have been tweaked there on the back. Obviously the new touchpad is a big deal. And also that light that's going to light up according to whether you're player 1, player 2 and so on. So yeah, first impressions, as most people said at the launch, is that the controller does look like an improvement. Next, there's the power cable. Unlike the Xbox One, you haven't got a big chunky external power supply, which is a nice touch. You have a USB cable. Now that is a micro USB to standard USB, as you might have on your smartphone. So that obviously connects your controller. So It's a wireless controller, but this is how you charge it, or if you desperately want to be connected by wire to your PS4. So next, this is the headset, I presume, which is just one solitary bud. That must be what they mean by the mono headset. You can see the on-off button here on the remote for the mic, and it's a pretty standard looking bud. I'm going to stick my neck out here and say the sound quality is not going to be up too much on that, but obviously you'll be able to hear voices, which is what it's for. But the good news is you should be able to plug in any old headphones. As you can see, it's just a standard looking connection. Next, we know what that is. It's only an HDMI cable, which is handy. It's nice for them to stick one in a box. Other HDMI cables are available. Boom! And the sheath. Nice. There it is. Ergonomic or what? It's a PS2, except it's not. It's on the wonk. It's got a glossy bit and a matte bit. Looks pretty nice actually. Some of the pictures looked a bit average, but I think it looks quite smart. So on the front, as you can see, very sleek, minimalist design. It's a slot loading disc tray there, which is ever so controversial at the moment. Seemingly hardly plays any discs, won't play 3D Blu-rays or indeed CDs at launch, which is fairly hard to believe, but I guess most people of course are just playing the games. And then there's the two USB connections for charging the controllers. And up close you can also see the eject and power lights, which are touch sensitive buttons. On the side you can just see the design again. It's got this gap between the sort of top and bottom of the chassis, which is nice, and there's some logos in there: HDMI, DTS, Dolby Digital, and of course Blu-ray disc. I mentioned the 3D. Then at the back you can see some of the vents, and of course all the connections, looking quite futuristic there. You've got the connection for the PlayStation camera, the aux as it's labelled, and presumably there'll be other peripherals for that too. You also have a LAN connection. It's wireless out of the box, but you can connect via wired connection for a more robust internet connection. There's your HDMI output, and of course a digital optical audio output. No analog outs on this, or indeed the Xbox One. The fourth side is pretty much blank. There's a little bump there for some reason. The good news is our PS4 works. We'll be testing it and playing with it over the next few days, so look out for our full review on whathifi.com very soon. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and add us on Google+. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.